New York's migrant crisis has now spilled over to the streets of Midtown, where over the weekend, groups of asylum seekers were turned away from the intake center at the Roosevelt Hotel.
Yeah, City Hall says 93,000 migrants have come through New York since last spring. More than 50,000 of them are in city shelters. So joining us this morning to address this issue and much more is Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso. You know, we've talked to you so many times via Zoom, so I hope your family is healthy, and it's so great to have you in the studio for the very first time.
No, happy to be here. The family's doing great, and now the world doesn't need to see my kids' room anymore. I'm actually here. I'm in your room now.
Yeah, it's so great to have you here.
Thank you.
The first thing we want to get to, I mean, it's been, we went through what seemed like a heat wave, and we had all these migrants that were literally living on the streets because there was no place for them. What do you feel needs to be done? Do you think more intake centers need to be opened?
Right. I just think that we have to take a step back and understand that what seems to have been happening so far is the warehousing of migrants. We haven't been treating them like the potential residents of New York City that they're going to be. There doesn't seem to be a plan. It's just like, what can we do right now to make sure that they have a roof over their head and food in their stomach? And that's it. Like, let's get there because the next bus is coming and we have to find the same solution for them. And I want to move away from that a bit. I want to talk about how we can fold them into the fabric of what it is to be a New Yorker in New York. And we don't have that plan yet. And it scares me, it worries me, because in times of other crises outside of that one, like a heat wave, we're not ready. We're not having those conversations. We're not talking about the individual and their status in life, how we can treat them with dignity. It's just doesn't feel like what New York is about. And the excuse that it's a crisis is what we're using to not have to do that, to not have to take the extra effort and have a real plan.
Yeah, finding ways to lift them up.
Yeah.
Do you know what the numbers are like in Brooklyn specifically?
We don't know the numbers specifically. I get an alert from the city of New York every time there's a new HERC that comes in. So I know we have a lot of folks here. I think Manhattan has the most and Brooklyn has the second most folks in shelter, which is sad, but we're Brooklyn. We can handle it, and I just hope that we can take a step back. These are humans, these are people, and what kinds of conversation that we can have to enhance their lives here in New York.
The last time I saw you, we were just reminiscing about being at that school together.
Right.
So migrants are going into schools, they're being used. We're a month away from school starting, if you think about it. So what's going to happen from now until September?
Well, that's what we hope to find out, right? I think that the mayor really needs to take time to outline to the city of New York that this is a crisis. People don't feel it, out of sight, out of mind, right? Because they're not there. They don't see somebody in front of their home. It's not in their sight, so they don't think it's a crisis. And I don't think that the mayor's done a good enough job to say it's a crisis. I think he's communicated it pretty well to the federal government and Congress and the president. But when it comes to the general public in the city of New York, they don't understand how bad of a crisis it is. And I think figuring out a way to project that, to make sure that the New Yorkers know that it's that big of a crisis, I think we'll start seeing more people want to help, more contributions from the private industry. During COVID, everyone showed up. Everyone was buying masks for folks. Everyone was trying to give food to people. It was just like all hands on deck, and it felt great. For this one, it seems like only the city is in charge of this, and only they are going to deal with it, and no one else is showing up. So I'm hoping that we got a plan together. And even though I don't agree with putting folks in like gyms and schools, like I don't think that that's appropriate. It gets you talking and it gets you thinking, is it that bad that we have to put folks in gyms? And then it starts activating more people. So I think when they feel the crisis, people will show up in a New York type of way.
We want to talk to you about some other things. We're going to switch gears and talk about gun violence, the shooting over the weekend. The gun buyback programs, do you think there need to be more of those? Or what? I mean, is there really a solution? It's just so frustrating.
It is frustrating. And like I've been doing this type of work for a long time. And the worry with the gun buyback programs is that we end up giving more money than the gun is worth, which allows the person to go buy more guns. Or we're taking the guns away from grandma or the uncle or someone that actually cares for it. Not the people that are giving guns in the gun buyback program are not necessarily the ones that are using them to shoot up in the summer. So we have to have a conversation about that. Ultimately, the solution to this problem is a federal solution, figuring out a way to stop guns going from like Pennsylvania, which is where we get most of our guns, to New York. Until we don't stop that flow, gun buybacks are just not going to be the solution. We need the federal government to pass real laws to stop people that shouldn't have guns from having guns or owning guns, and then we'll get closer to it. But right now, citywide, statewide, we have very limited solutions. This is a federal issue, and they need to step up.
Find a way to shut down that pipeline.
Yeah.
It's Monday morning. People
Yes.
are already thinking about their morning commute. If they
Yes.
haven't left already, the people of Canarsie have spoken out wanting ferry service.
Yes.
What's the latest with that?
So it's all hands on deck. I think it's a great idea. It's an effort that we should take on. I'm a big proponent of getting people outside of their vehicles.
Yes.
We're in the city of New York. We have the best transportation system in the world, arguably, when you move out of your vehicle. But people in Canarsie, it takes 2 buses, like a 10-minute walk, 2 buses, and a train
But
to
what are
get to
you being
Manhattan.
told? Is ferry service going to happen for them?
I'm hearing that it's a priority with the Economic Development Corporation. Is one of like 3 or 4 sites that they're looking at for the next ferry service. But yes, that's exactly what they want to do, is get to places like Canarsie. So I'm very excited about it. But we're also talking about new spaces in the Bronx.
Yes.
Coney Island is also being considered. So we don't know exactly what the timeline looks like. But the fact that Canarsie is excited about it, that's what you need, buy-in from the community first. And if that happens, then we can get to work. So I'm very excited about it.
Before we let you go, we need to talk about something that's very exciting coming to your
Yes.
borough. I mean, we're talking about the 41st annual Dominican Day Parade.
Yes, yes.
How exciting! And the date is
The date is, I want to say
August 14th.
August 14th. Thank you so much. I have a lot of dates in my head.
Yes.
It's great. I'm the first Dominican ever elected to a borough-wide position in the history of the city of New York. So it's just an ability to see my culture, my heritage, and my history in the middle of Manhattan, just us celebrating and having a great time, and that the city of New York acknowledges the contributions we have made as a people. It's just an exciting time for us. We're very prideful people, and I can't wait to see the merengue, to see the people dancing bachata, and just see all my folks waving their flag really high.
Will you be one of those dancers?
I will be one of those dancers.
Good
I'm
for
a big
you.
fan of that. I hear the president of the Dominican Republic is also coming, which is awesome. He's being honored.
Fabulous.
And for us, it's a great honor. So I can't wait till it happens. I'll be there.
That's
And
awesome.
the food is my favorite.
Yes. Yes, you're not lying. They just asked me what my favorite food is. It's a breakfast called Los Tres Golpes in the Dominican Republic, which is just like fried plantain, fried cheese, fried egg, and fried salami. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's a very filling breakfast.
Anything fried sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Thanks so
exactly.
much, Borough President. We appreciate you coming
Thank you
in
for
today.
having me.
I have to ask really quick, with the Beyonce and Jay-Z hosting their Brooklyn Library, did you
Yes.
get to go?
I did go. It's pretty awesome.
Did you meet them?
Yes, I saw them
Oh
both.
my
Yes,
gosh.
it was pretty awesome. It was the first time I met them, and it really does feel like royalty when you meet them.
I'm
Just they're definitely Brooklyn royalty, but it's just amazing. And the first song I ever heard, I wasn't into rap until I got into high school, was actually a Jay-Z song. So it was pretty.
Very
Hard Knock
fitting.
Life.
Full circle
Very fitting.
moment.
It was
Awesome.
awesome.
Very
It was
cool.
awesome.
Well, thanks again for being with us.
Thank
this
you for
morning.
having me.
All right.
Brooklyn Borough